In terms of pace, the Sacramento Kings have risen to 5th place in the NBA. They lead the league in scoring and are ranked 2nd in offensive rating, effective field goal percentage, and true shooting percentage. The Sacramento Kings have easily been one of the hottest teams in the NBA to begin the 2022-23 season, and it's due to something no one could have predicted. In this video, we'll take a look at how the Sacramento Kings are doing this. Many in the NBA questioned whether the Kings' top 2 players, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, would be a viable duo to lead the Kings out of their long-running NBA playoff drought. While these two are exceeding expectations, there is much more to the Sacramento Kings' dominance. Along with these two, rookie Keegan Murray's play has been outstanding, as have new acquisitions in NBA free agency and the offseason via trade in Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. Furthermore, with Harrison Barnes, Terrence Davis, Trey Lyles, Davion Mitchell, and others, the Kings are putting the entire league on notice that they will not only make the 2023 NBA playoffs, but will be a threat. And based on their incredible success with the fast break led by De'Aaron Fox, there's a lot more to this team than most people realize. New Kings head coach Mike Brown has done an excellent job with the Kings offense thus far in his tenure. While the Kings defense will undoubtedly require some work and improvement throughout the season, Sacramento has the potential to continue to surprise many people across the NBA world as time passes and they light the lamp in Sacramento. The absence of an offensive superstar makes this team's rise all the more remarkable. Yes, De'Aaron Fox has made a significant leap and firmly established himself in the all-star conversation. However, no one would argue that he is better than reigning All-NBA first-teamers Jason Tatum and Devin Booker. Despite battling injuries early in his career, the unstoppable locomotive that is Zion Williamson has lived up to his billing as an interior supernova. These players are all better offensive players than Fox, but his team's offense equals or outperforms them all. But how exactly? The 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns' entire philosophy was based on the idea that the most efficient shots tend to come earlier in the shot clock. So, in order to gain access to these high-value attempts, you must initiate your offense quickly. Nobody, arguably, observes this practice more closely today than the Sacramento Kings, who make 19.2% of their field goals with 22 to 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. This figure is nearly 2 percentage points higher than the Los Angeles Lakers, who finished 2nd in this category. They can do this because almost all of their consistent rotational players have the ability to grab and go after a rebound. Consider their 6'11" center Domantas Sabonis, who gallops down the court like a Lithuanian Magic Johnson. Consider the modern-day spacing concept in 3 stages. The first stage is the beginner level. You have everyone in a proper spacing position, but the defense does not respect your shooters enough to react to it. The second stage is the intermediate level. At this point, you not only have everyone deployed in proper spacing positions, but you also have the personnel to stretch out the defense. The third stage is the most advanced. The platonic ideal of distance. At this level, you have proper positioning, the personnel to make it matter, and the movement patterns to put the most strain on the defense. This is where our Sacramento friends fall in the spacing hierarchy. Mike Brown's intimate knowledge paid off as the Sacramento Kings beat the Warriors 122-115 on the road on Sunday night. The two teams played their 3rd close game of the season, but Brown's defensive strategy on Stephen Curry was enough to hand Golden State its 7th straight road loss to begin the season. Stephen Curry's shot attempts were limited by Mike Brown and the Sacramento Kings, and his teammates were unable to capitalize in the Golden State Warriors' 7-point loss. Curry scored 13 points in the first quarter, none of which came from beyond the arc. The obvious threat of his shooting, as well as his ability to drive to the rim and finish through traffic, has been an underappreciated aspect that continues to improve as he approaches the age of 35. Golden State's 39 first-quarter points were one of their most impressive of the season, especially offensively, as everything seemed to be working except for some unfortunate turnovers. Their defense was also holding the Kings to 26 points, allowing them to maintain a 13-point lead. Despite a rapidly rising turnover count, Curry and the Warriors slowed down in the second quarter. Malik Monk, on the other hand, continued to favor the Warriors in the first half. He scored 12 points as the Kings screamed back and won the period 38-23 to take a 2-point lead into halftime. This season, Golden State's patented third-quarter run appears to have deserted them, and a lack of sustained momentum and killer instinct was once again evident. Klay Thompson hit back-to-back three-pointers early in the third quarter, skipping back to the bench as Brown called timeout with the Warriors up 6. But Sacramento would respond with a punch of their own, going on a quick 10-2 run to re-establish their lead. The teams traded baskets before a Keegan Murray three-pointer gave the Kings a 7-point lead at the end of the third quarter. To be fair, Golden State put itself in position to give Curry another chance to lead them to victory. That appeared to be the case when they led 113-110 with 4 minutes remaining. Brown, on the other hand, was focused to keep the ball out of Curry's hands and force his team to win the game. The Warriors scored just 2 points in the final minutes as jumper after jumper was missed, with Curry understandably helpless against constant trapping and double teaming. Domantas Sabonis, on the other hand, was a threat on the inside, and De'Aaron Fox hit a couple of timely jump shots of his own. Sacramento finished with a 12-2 run to seal the Warriors' fate and a 5-8 record, which is extremely concerning. Curry was held to 17 shots in his last 3 games after averaging 23 in his previous 3 games. Despite having their moments throughout the game, Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson were ultimately unable to produce when it mattered the most. The Warriors return home for the second night of a back-to-back against the San Antonio Spurs, with no word on the status of their experienced core in what appears to be another must-win game. Coach Mike Brown almost always has the offense stationed in proper spacing position, whether it's through 5-out sets with Sabonis, facilitating on the perimeter, or 4-out, 1 in alignments with him or Fox in the post. Their ability to sprinkle in cuts and off-ball screens while maintaining this spacing exoskeleton elevates their spacing to another level. Coach Mike Brown almost always has the offense stationed in proper spacing position, whether it's through 5-out sets with Sabonis, facilitating on the perimeter, or 4-out, 1 in alignments with him or Fox in the post. Outside of Sabonis, this team is armed to the teeth with perimeter shooting, so whenever a team tries to sink in on them or collapse in the paint, they have a lethal shooter on the outside to spray it out to. Their ability to sprinkle in cuts and off-ball screens while maintaining this spacing exoskeleton elevates their spacing to another level. The Sacramento Kings mindset appears to have always been focused on breaking the city's 16-year playoff drought. The Kings were clearly looking to win now after making the trade of the year at the trade deadline last season, sending Tyrese Halliburton to Indiana in exchange for Domantas Sabonis. But does win now imply that you must win right away? We believe so, but it appears that new head coach Mike Brown does not. After winning an NBA championship with the Golden State Warriors as the lead assistant on Steve Kerr's coaching staff last season, Coach Brown turned his attention to Sacramento, a franchise in desperate need of a leader and a strong voice in the locker room and in the media. In today's game, reaching stage 3 is critical to high-level offense because defenses are so good that, even with great positioning and personnel, they will eventually adapt their coverage in a way that reduces the spacing's effectiveness. However, combining that with various off-ball sequences, as the Kings do, further delays the adaptation process. Combine that with Sacramento's lightning-fast execution, and you have the foundation for a world-class offense. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you with another interesting video.